If S, T, U, and V are the coordinates of the indicated points on the number line above, which of the following is greatest? So the first thing I would do is I would say, okay, we're using absolute values here. So regardless of if the number is positive or negative, we're just looking at the quantity. So the points with the largest quantity would be V and S. So I'm going to take a look at answer choices B, and I'm going to take a look at answer choice D. Well, if I have S plus V, the absolute value of S plus V, and I use, say, negative 2.5 as my value for S and 2.5 as my value for V, I'm going to get negative 2.5 plus 2.5. That's going to give me 0, so the absolute value would be 0. Well, I know that that's not going to give me the greatest value. So let's take a look at D, which is S minus V. That's going to give me negative 2.5 minus 2.5, which is negative 5. The absolute value of negative 5 is 5. So I'm going to choose answer choice D, the absolute value of S minus V. And that would be the correct answer. Moving on to number 19. On the day of a rainstorm, the depth of the water at a certain location along the winding river was recorded hourly, and the results are indicated in the line graph above. Each unit on the vertical axis represents 1 foot. If the depth of the water decreased 10% from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., what was the depth of the water at 4 p.m.? All right. If we take a look at the graph, we know that from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., there was a 2-foot decrease. So that 2-foot decrease is 10% of some number. So 10% of some number is equal to 2 feet, as I show in step 2. So I'm going to set that expression up as an equation, and 10% in decimal form is 0.10. We're going to call that some number x, and that's equal to this 2-foot decrease. So 0.10x is equal to 2. We want to isolate x, so we divide both sides by 0.10, and we get x equals 20. So at 3 p.m., the depth of the water was 20 feet. However, remember, 20 is not the answer, because we want to find out what was the depth of the water at 4 p.m. So between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m., the depth of the water decreased by 2 feet. So 20 feet minus 2 feet is equal to 18 feet. So our answer is C, 18 feet. What would be the answer if the water decreased 35% from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m.? The answer would be 5.57 feet. Last question. For all numbers a and b, let a function b be defined by a function b equals a times b plus a plus b. For all numbers x, y, and z, which of the following must be true? So we need to find out which one of these 3 values, or which one of these 3 choices must be true. So we're going to have to do this the hard way, and we're going to have to plug in these values for the function. So if I take a look at option 1, x function y equals y function x, I'm going to get x function y, and please pardon my function sign. There wasn't anything on my keyboard that allowed me to put the dot in the middle of the circle, so we're going to call that big circle function. So x function y, if we plug it into the equation, is equal to x times y plus x plus y, and y function x is equal to y times x plus y plus x. Well, that works out because those values are the same. So we know that option 1 is true. So we can take a look at the answer choices, and we know we can cancel a few out. We can cancel out B, we can cancel out C, because we know that option 1 must be in the solution. So I'm going to try out answer choice, or I'm going to try out option 3 rather than option 2, just at random. So if I did x function y plus z is equal to, or if I was trying to find the value for x function y plus z and I plug that into the equation, I'm going to get x times y plus z plus x plus y plus z. So I multiplied that out and simplified it on the right hand side, and that's going to give me xy plus xz plus x plus y plus z. So now we're going to try to solve for the right side of option 3, which is x function y plus x function z, to see if those values are equivalent. So x function y plus x function z is going to give me xy plus x plus y plus xz plus x plus z. I can take a look at steps 2 and step 3 and realize that those values are not equal to each other. So I know that option 3 does not work. So now I know I can cross out answer choice E. So the answer is either going to be A or it's going to be D. So let's try out option 2. So x minus 1 function x plus 1, working out the left side of the equation. That's going to give me x minus 1 times x plus 1 plus x minus 1 plus x plus 1. So for the first two terms, x minus 1 times x plus 1, we use the FOIL method, and we're going to get x squared minus 1 plus 2x is going to be our answer. X squared minus 1 using the FOIL method is a result of x minus 1 times x plus 1. And x minus 1 plus x plus 1 is going to give us the value of 2x. Just breaking that down in case you missed that. So now we're going to break down the right side of option 2, which is x function x minus 1. X function x minus 1 gives us x times x, which is x squared, plus 2x minus 1. So I can see from steps 4 and steps 5 that both sides of option 2 work and are equivalent to each other. So my answer would be D, option 1 and option 2. Well, this concludes the latest installment of materials that I'll be uploading via video for the SAT ACT Experts Network. Be on the lookout as I upload more materials throughout the upcoming weeks. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to just log on to ninthperiod.com and send me a message. My member name is Tori. I'm from the University of Dayton. So you can send me a message directly or add me as a friend as well. So hope this helped you out, and be on the lookout for more in the future. Thanks a lot. And thanks for coming to ninthperiod.com to get some help.